Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I actually want to talk about a topic that was asked in a previous video of mine, and that's around weight training. I think weight training is super important for new heavy beginner runners, especially slower runners as well, because we really need to make sure we're strengthening our muscles to prepare us for the longer runs, the training runs that we're doing. I think just adding in a few training workouts on a weekly basis along with your running plan can really help significantly bring down the soreness as well as get you recovered for the next run that you may have planned out. So I kind of talk about it in this video. Also in the video, I do talk about which specific workouts that I do as well. And I will also link my full body workouts that I do, everything I do on a weekly basis. I work out 3 times a week. I'll have all those exercises for you guys along with the sets and reps as well. Thank you guys so much, and let's get right into the video. If you guys have followed along in my old videos, I actually used to strength train a lot when I was a lot younger. It may not look like it now, but I used to primarily do strength training as my main workout. After my daughter was born, I kind of fell off a little bit on and off. But what I have found that during my running journey recently is strength training is super important. And I'll kind of go over why I think it's important, why I think it's necessary for new runners to strength train. What is strength training? It's lifting weights. It's putting weights up. It's putting weights down. You guys know the drill already. A lot of times strength training can also just be doing body workouts, no equipment needed. But why do I think strength training is super important for new runners? And why have I continued to do it every single week? That's mainly because what I found personally is that it has actually reduced my soreness from running. So as I have noticed, my training plan has been getting significantly harder. I've been doing a lot longer runs. I've been getting sore a lot more, especially after some of the time trials that my training plan has me do. My soreness is actually really off the charts, and it's to the point where I couldn't necessarily be ready for the next day's run. But what I did find out is that when I do strength train, actually, my soreness significantly decreased. I'm actually much better recovered right afterwards. And I was ready to go. And I thought this was just kind of a fluke, right? As you start doing some strength training, you start to really exercise some of the muscles that are being used in running. And you also kind of stretch them out, which helps reduce the soreness. I will put a disclaimer, I am no medical professional as far as, physical therapy or strength training goes. Just make sure you take it really easy before you start adding strength training. I personally am not a hardcore strength trainer. I used to really push and try to get my max PR for my, bench press and all that kind of stuff. I don't do that anymore. I'm almost turning 40. So right now for me, strength training is primarily around making sure my muscles are strong enough to carry my day-to-day task and also to help my running as well. So that's what my goal for my strength training is now, because I am truly invested in my running journey to the point where I kind of focus my entire diet and my running and my strength training around my running plan. So how often do I do strength training? I do it 3 times a week. That seems kind of crazy, I know. And I luckily have enough time to squeeze in a 45-minute strength training sessions along with my running plan. You don't have to necessarily do 3 times a week. Like I said, it's pretty much personalized. At least doing some kind of training, weight training is going to be helpful. I've just personally found out for me to do weight training, I can do it 3 times a week. I actually do a full body workout 3 times a week, so that way I'm not necessarily lifting weights every single day. I kind of gradually spread it out to Sundays, which is when I don't have any runs planned. And then on Tuesdays, where I actually do have an easy run planned, so I'll do the easy run in the morning, and then I'll do some weight training in the afternoon. And then Thursday, also when I don't have any runs planned. So I kind of schedule around that. So if you guys actually look at it, I kind of do workouts every single day. 4 days a week, I'm actually running, and then 3 days a week, I'm actually doing strength training. So it kind of fills up my calendar. Obviously, I can't always stick to my 3 times a week schedule. There are days where I'm traveling for work, or I'm super busy. I just can't do a workout in, and at that point, it turns into a twice a week. That's perfectly fine. I just found out that for me, I do need to strength train to recover faster and be ready for my next runs. So now you're probably thinking, let me try this out. let me add in some strength training. What should I do though? What kind of workout should I do? Do I need to build a whole home gym at home like I have? Or do I have enough in my office where I can just lift some weights like I do sometimes as well? Let me go over that as well. So yes, I did build a mini home gym in my garage. This was during the COVID time because the gyms were kind of shut down and I needed to work out. So I actually just bought some weights, bought a weight bench, set up a home gym in my garage, and that's where I primarily do most of my weight training. However, you don't necessarily need to have a whole home gym. You can just kind of set up some bands in your office, maybe get a couple of dumbbells or a kettlebell even, and just swing those around and make those your primary way of weight training, and that's perfectly fine. Don't necessarily have the most amount of weights. I don't even bench press as much as I used to before. I don't squat as much as I used to before. I just primarily focus on form and making sure that I get the proper workout, proper stretches, and that's what's really been helping me as well. Okay, so before we get into the workouts and what do I do, I have a couple notes for you guys. Please do not add in a lot of weights. Don't have that ego mentality, especially again, new runners. I have an ego about my pace sometimes and I want to run really, really fast, but I know the best way for me to get faster is to do my slower runs, my zone 2 runs. Same thing applies to weight training. Do not go out there and start just swinging out 125 dumbbells, whatever it is. Don't go out crazy. Start off slow, start off with a smaller amount. Heck, sometimes I just do a 10-pound bicep curls and that's perfectly fine for me. That's okay. Do not worry about trying to swing the most amount of weight because you will get injured. And again, this is all to help with your running journey. So you don't want to injure yourself and then you can't run, right? And because running itself can also cause a lot of injuries. Now you don't want to add in weight training, which can also cause injuries. So take it easy, take it slow. Maybe just start off with doing some body weight workouts first and then slowly, gradually increase the weights if you get more comfortable. But again, do not go out there and just start lifting massive amounts of weights. You will get injured, and that is not the point of strength training when you are trying to run. All right, so what kind of workouts do I do? As I mentioned, I do body weight workouts, full body workouts 3 times a week. I do my legs first, then I move on to my chest, my back, my shoulders, triceps, biceps, and that's it. I don't do abs. I hate ab workouts, so I just skip them. And again, my abs are not going to show if I do any kind of crunches. That's not the point of it. And unfortunately, this is probably the worst time to mention this as well. I do kind of have a slight weird knee thing happening with my legs, and probably because of work, I had not lifted weights or did any strength training for a while. I primarily just focused on running the last few days, and I think because of that, my knees have kind of buckled up a little bit. So I won't be able to demonstrate any of these workouts for you guys. I'll probably put some stock footage or put some video from somebody else who has done it, so you guys can get a good sense of what it looks like. And they probably have better form than I do. And again, don't focus on the weight. Just focus on trying to do maybe just body weight workouts. Get the actual form properly tiled in before you add in weights. Because again, when it comes to legs, when it comes to back, if you're like myself, my back is very, very sensitive. So if I pull something too hard, if I do a lot of back workouts and it's not the right way, my back immediately blows out. So I have to be very, very careful. So that's why my back workouts are not necessarily the most demanding for my body, because I know I'm still strengthening that area. Same with my legs and my knees. But let's get into the actual workouts. I'm sorry, I'm delaying this a lot longer than I should, but I promise you, here are the workouts. I'm only gonna be covering the leg workouts only. If you guys want to see my actual full body workouts, I'll have it in the description down below with all the workouts that I do, around how many reps and how many sets I do of those. And then you guys can see it there. But for the sake of this video not being a million hours long like my other videos are, this probably will be actually, and if it is more than 20 minutes, I'm so sorry. For the sake of the length of the video, I will only be covering leg specific workouts for you guys, okay? Cool. So on Monday, I do dumbbell lunges, and as you guys can see here, you don't have to necessarily do it with a lot of weight. Again, I recommend no weights at all. This really helps with your thighs and kind of strengthening your knee joints as well. Then I do some dumbbell stiff leg deadlifts. This really helps with the back part of your thighs. I don't know what those are called, glutes, I guess, glutes. And these really help stretch those out and build that back part of the leg up. And then I end my leg workouts with some calf raises. I just do these with a few pounds of dumbbells and just sit there and just kind of lift my legs up and down like they're showing here. Okay, and on Wednesday, I do a dumbbell squat. I do a goblet squat. Again, if you're just starting out, do a body weight squat only, get used to it, get used to the form. I necessarily cannot go super low because again, my knees are a little sensitive. So I go about, I would say half the length of up to where my knee is. I can't squat all the way down. I'm still working on that flexibility part of it, but go as low as you possibly can go while you're able to get up. I don't do a deep squat necessarily. Also, when doing squats, do not push your legs forward and bend forward. You kind of have to angle them towards a 45 degrees on each side, so that way you can really focus on trying to get the deepest squat that you can. Then I do a dumbbell Bulgarian split squat. This is a little bit difficult for me still. So what I actually do is I just do body weight on this. I still don't have the balance and my knees are still not 100% to the point where I can feel comfortable holding a weight. So I actually just do these as a body weight workout only. My one leg up, I push my one leg forward and just squat, and then I have my bench on the left of me to kind of give me balance if I do start falling off. But this is really, really good for your calves as well as your knee joints and your quads. This one is a killer workout for sure. And then at the end of the workouts, I do some farmer carries. This is just literally you pick up 45, 40-pound dumbbells or even less. Again, just adding some weight to your body weight and just walk around. That's all you gotta do. Then on Friday, I have a barbell squat. Again, I am not super strong. I sometimes just put on maybe about 100 pounds or even 90 pounds on this and just squat that. Then I have the dumbbell step up. So this is just pretty much me pulling my bench forward and I just step up with a little bit of weight on the side. Again, you may not even need the weight. Just try to do this without having the weight. Main thing is trying to get your good balance. So a lot of the work on this workout is around balancing yourself when you are going up. So a really important thing here is when you're trying to do this workout, really focus on not trying to push off with the leg that's on the ground, but push up with the leg that is on the step up, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to step up on your right leg, that's the leg that you should be pushing up on, and that's where the workout will happen. If you're using your left leg to push your body up into the step, then you're kind of sort of cheating because you're using the momentum of your leg on the ground to pull you up versus using the actual leg and the muscles from the right leg. And you just kind of alternate between the two. So you do like 10 reps of this, and then you go to your left leg and do 10 reps of that. And trust me, this is another killer workout. Super good for your entire leg. Honestly, I feel this in my quads and my glutes. And then if you want to add some weight as you get stronger, it'll also help with your calves as well. And then finally, for Friday, I do some seated calf raises. This is just literally putting some weights on my knees and I sit down and I just lift my calves up and down. All right, so there you have it. Those are my strength training workouts for legs specifically. As I mentioned before, I'll have my full body workout down below with everything that I do. It takes me about 45 minutes roughly per session to do it. And again, I don't necessarily go all out in terms of weights. So one thing I do want to add is around strengthening your feet. And it's something that I recently learned and I was not quite aware of. But if you actually run in lower stack shoes, so something around a 4mm drop shoe or a 5 or 6, you actually will see that your feet get more of a workout. And I did not know this. I just learned this recently, so I figured I'd share this information with you guys. If you run in high stack shoes like an 8mm drop or 10, your knees are much more dependent because you're getting that push off the ground because of higher stack. So your feet don't work as hard, but your knees take a toll. Whereas when you are running in a lower stack shoe, your feet are actually doing a lot more work and your knees are safe a little bit. So what I've actually done is, because of my knees have been kind of iffy recently, I've just been running my lower stack shoes. So like my Glycerin Max is a 4mm drop, and I think the Adidas Evo SL is a 5. I've just been running on those, and those have really helped with my running. Because I do notice that my feet are working a lot harder than my knees are. One of the benefits of strengthening your feet is that it helps with stability. And when you want to really run fast, and maybe you want to buy some of these expensive race day shoes, as you take this more seriously, a lot of them are really unstable. And I know that because I have my SC Trainer V3s, and those are very unstable for me. I can't run those in long distances. So maybe strengthening the feet will help out with the long run of giving your stability a lot better too as you run. So figured I'd pass that along to you guys as well. What if I don't have the time to do an actual workout? What do I do instead? And it's simply going to be just 50 push-ups and 50 body weight squats whenever you can. This really just also helps out as well, especially the days when I'm really sore, but it's not a weight training day. I'll just stand up and I'll knock out 50 squats anywhere I am, right? You don't have to do it all at once even. Just do 10, take a break, walk around a little bit, maybe do some work, come back an hour later, do another 10. But just getting bodyweight squats in has really helped lower my soreness as well. So again, if you don't have the time to do all this workout, just doing bodyweight squats in itself and bodyweight lunges will just do the trick. And you can do those anywhere as long as you have some room to put your feet up and down. That's all it really is. All right, sorry for the costume change. I planned this video actually to be a two-part video along with my running plan. However, this video was getting a little too long, so I decided to just separate the two altogether. So that's why you're seeing this first. Let me know if you have any questions around strength training. Again, I'm not the biggest expert on it, but I have found that it's really helped me on my journey, especially when I start to feel some soreness and some tightness in my legs. I have found that weight training has significantly helped me. So let me know if you have any questions. If there's any workouts that I may have missed, let me know as well. One thing that I do want to add regarding my discussion that I had around feet strength, and that is to say, I don't think we need to buy new shoes just specifically for strengthening our feet. Honestly, I think as long as you are just weight training and strength training, doing calf exercises, you are strengthening your feet that way. Farmer walks, the farmer carries that I talk about, those are also a good way to strengthen your feet. So I'm not saying you have to go out and buy new stuff. Just doing basic strength training can also help with that as well. I just did not know that you could also strengthen your feet just by having a lower stack shoe. So I figured I'd put that disclaimer at the end as well, just so you guys don't feel like I'm just trying to push products on you. I'm not. I just found that out recently and I was like, oh, that's a cool thing to share. So I shared it with you guys so much. But thank you guys so much again. Please subscribe and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.